Hello again, and welcome to Real World and Ratios, Part 2, with Mr. Rag. Pardon me for that, I just couldn't help myself. On to the problem. A box contains baseball and hockey cards. The ratio of baseball cards to hockey cards is 5:2. And then here below are two sub-problems that we are going to look at in turn. So the first one, if the total number of cards is 1,330, how many cards are there of each type? Well, like I said in the other video, we love models, these visual models. So I have created one here. The box contains baseball and hockey cards at a ratio of 5:2. So we've got our 5 parts baseball cards to our 2 parts hockey cards. Now, if the total number of cards is 1,330, how many cards are there of each type? This is going to be a bit of a different style of video where I'm not actually going to walk through this problem completely. I'm just going to show you a little bit of how to set it up, and then you're going to complete it in the Google form. So we've got 1,330 cards total, 1,330. And as you can see, it's divided up into 7 parts, right? 5 parts baseball cards to 2 parts hockey cards. So my one hint for you is the first step ought to be to find out what one of these parts is, what one part equals. Because if we know that there are 7 parts, we know what the 7 parts equal, this 1,330, shouldn't we be able to use that information to find what one part equals? And then if we know what this part equals, don't we also know what this one equals? And this one? And these two? And these two? That's my hint for you. Pause the video, work on this, answer it in the Google form. Good luck. And now on to part B. Suppose that the number of baseball cards is 650. How many hockey cards are there? So now we are supposing that just up here, these 5 parts of baseball cards are a total of 650 cards. Now we want to use that information to find out how many hockey cards there are. So again, I think the strategy is using the 650. This is a total of 650. Can you find what this is? What one part is? If you know what this part is, don't you also know what this part is? And then don't you also know what that part is? So then it's not too bad to find those 2 parts. Use that reasoning, do the math, solve this on your own in the Google form. Pause the video here. Good luck. Finally, here's a problem with 3 parts you're going to do completely on your own. So, I have a friend, Patrick, and he does in fact collect records. And the ratio of his blues records to his jazz records is 7:6, almost the same amount of each. A little bit more blues. So, first question, if he has 78 records total, how many of those would be blues records? Second question, following that same logic, how many would be jazz? Once you figure out the blues, how many blues he has, it shouldn't be too hard to figure out how many jazz ones he has. Finally, we're going to change it up a little. What if he went out and bought 12 more records? What would the new ratio be? I expect this to take you a little bit of time. I definitely would suggest drawing out a model like we did for the previous ones. Good luck on these. Answer them in the form. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you in class.